What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Lomachencko, Devin Haney. Get this. According to Bob Arum hopes to televise Haney Lomachencko on ESPN, not on pay-per-view. And this is what he had to say. He said, quote, Loma wants the fight next. Lomachencko wants the fight next. And Bill Haney wants to do the fight. My hope is to do as few fights on pay-per-view as possible because I really believe that putting these fights on pay-per-view is not a wise thing to do. Now, other people might find difficulty in this. It's not a wise thing to do because people aren't buying the pay-per-views. And it costs a lot of money to do it. Even if the fighters don't take guarantees, they hate you afterwards because they haven't made any money. I think that's the problem with Al Heyman running into what he's running into. Those are the words of Bob Arum, and let me counterpunch. Does make a lot of sense. What people don't understand, the networks demand a certain amount of revenue coming back from those pay-per-views in order to put it on pay-per-view anyway, okay? So a lot of people arguing over the Crawford-Spence issue, and they try to defend the whole pay-per-view thing. Well, it's going to make the money. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. That's not guaranteed. The only thing that's guaranteed is something that you already have in writing that's guaranteed up front. That's the only thing promised to you is something guaranteed. Bob Arum knows it. Oscar De La Hoya knows it. Eddie Hearn knows it. Everybody knows it except for Al Heyman. Al Heyman's supposed to be this number wizard, that he's good with these numbers and he's good at knowing this, that, and the other. But he can't even ensure what these fighters are going to get. Because like Bob Arum said, their fighters will hate you afterwards because they haven't made any money, because the money is only coming from the only source that they have is the pay-per-view. So let's say that a huge hack had hit that particular fight. Fire Stick. Other ways to watch the fight. That fight is going to lose money. Networks are going to want their cut 50% in. So that's going to take 50% of the possibility for the income for the fighters, right? And there's nothing else left. Okay, so what Bob is saying, he should have been saying a long time ago when he had Terrence Crawford, and he should have been preaching this shit then, instead of ridiculing Terrence that he's not sellable, he's not marketable. Now it's like, hey, people are not buying this shit. Maybe, just maybe, it's not because Terrence Crawford's not marketable. It's because people are not paying for the pay-per-views no more. And maybe they're not paying for the pay-per-views no more like they used to. It's because they're too expensive. Okay? Like in the UK, for example. The UK, they have a certain standard amount that they did not inflate. Okay? Unlike here, I remember in the 90s watching Roy Jones Jr., watching Felix Trinidad, watching these iconic fighters fight, De La Hoya included. These fights were $29.99, $39.99, $49.99. They didn't go past that up until recently. They almost doubled in price. Okay? I mean, doubled in price due to the fact of what? Manny Pacquiao taking on Floyd Money Mayweather was $100. $89 for SD, $99 for HD. That was entirely too much. So our market, what we need to start looking at, and I know Al Heyman has tried to adjust the price, like the Luis Ortiz Charles Martin fight was like $29, right? And then I'm not sure on the Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. I believe it was still up to like $74. Right, I could be wrong though, right? But, you know, all in all, these fights though are not guaranteed to sell. Because as long as people know and understand that, hey, we can watch it another way besides pay for it, they'll do exactly that, like they've done with music, like they've done with ringtones, like they're doing with movies. They're doing that. Okay? Because what it is, people are not stupid. You know what I mean? And then when you start charging someone more money, they're going to pick the alternative. And that's the alternative. Not to buy the shit on pay-per-view, watch it on Fire Stick instead. Matter of fact, bring your friends, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, their friends, and let's all watch in on Fire Stick. So you've lost so many possibilities just by jacking and inflating the price. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Bob Arum wanting Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko on ESPN, regular, not pay-per-view. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace!